Today's video is sponsored by Bespoke. Bespoke Post is a monthly membership club delivering awesome boxes of top-shelf goods from under-the-radar brands. It's free to join. Beyond subscribing for monthly boxes, with the holidays coming up, you can also purchase individual items on the site from their shop. Bespoke Post products are in stock, stored in US-based warehouses, and ready to ship. Stay warm this season with the delicious Mexican hot chocolate set. Cut through all that wrapping tape with the Keynote folding knife. And never drink bad beer on gaming night. Bring your own and keep it fresh in the UKEG Go Tungsten. Check out my personally curated page with a bunch of stuff that I either want for myself or as a gift for others. I really want to try out the Uni Coda Outdoor Pizza Oven. Who doesn't love a great pizza? And after I eat, I can get cozy with a pair of the Grizzly Cabin slippers and lose a game of chess on this sweet leather chess set. To get 15% off everything in my personal collection, click the link in the description and enter all things D&D 15 at checkout. Or go to bspk.me/allthingsdnd15. And now what you're here for. The worst DMPC I've ever seen. Hi everyone, All Things D&D is back with two stories. The dreaded DMPC, one of the cardinal sins of DMing. If you're DMing and considering injecting yourself into the game as a DMPC, don't. The players should drive the story forward, not you playing with yourself. Tell us about your DMPC experiences after listening to these two stories. This happened a while ago during an online game of 5e. The DM seemed nice and the party got along well. After a session 0, we began the campaign as caravan guards. One of the caravan guards was a black dragonborn NPC named Resnir, the star of this tale, and of the campaign as we'd later find out. Resnir was a couple of levels above the rest of the party, who were only level 1. But we didn't mind as level 1 PCs are very squishy, and it wasn't unreasonable that there were stronger adventurers than us in the world. The caravan gets attacked by orcs, and the DM goes into great detail describing how Resnir solos the orc chieftain and about 15 other orcs, and randomly swears that he will defeat his father after he beheads the orc chieftain. Following the session, we're all talking about the sesh, and the DM asks us what we all thought of Resnir. We'd only just met the character, so our answers were pretty lukewarm. But looking back, the DM had clearly put a lot of weight on the question. As the game progresses, Resnir starts showing up more and more often, and becomes more and more obnoxious, constantly monologuing about some prophecy, and his destiny to one day slay his father, another black dragonborn who is being set up as the BBEG. The problem was that when the party didn't really show much interest in Resnir or voice this to the DM, he would only double down harder, and make Resnir show up more often, or be connected to quests in the most Tebus way possible. The party is helping with rescuing a kidnapped villager from a goblin cave. Resnir shows up and saves the party with a trail of dead goblins behind him. The party's investigating a trail of heists. Resnir is too, and it's somehow related to his whole crusade against his father. It gets to the point where almost every encounter we had with an NPC that wasn't Resnir would either keep talking about Resnir or would lead to Resnir. At one point, in desperation for anything other than Resnir, the party started galloping away from Resnir on horseback during one of his monologues about honor and duty, etc., and the DM describes Resnir continuing his monologue as he keeps up with the party while on foot, and we're on horseback. The party had just about enough when we all confronted the DM about the fact that we weren't enjoying the fact that everything was revolving around this dragonborn, and if he could ease up a bit, to which the DM responded that this story is about Resnir, and I'm not changing that. 2 players immediately left the group and didn't return, and the rest of us stayed out of a sense of either desperation for a game or morbid curiosity. The remainder of us had had enough, however, and conspired to get our revenge on the DM's DMPC, who had become the object of all of our frustrations. In the final battle against Resnir's father, I guess the DM thought he was throwing us a bone when he had Resnir be grievously wounded and beg for our aid. See, according to the DM, this was our defining climactic moment, defending his DMPC from a bunch of mooks until he could gather the strength to pull together and defeat his BBEG father. But we didn't do that. Instead, almost as one, we all decided to swear our allegiance to Resnir's father and attacked Resnir while he was down. We were a pretty high level at that point and dealt at least 200 damage to the black dragonborn in one round. When the DM seethed and tried to retcon our actions or hand-wave them away, we pushed back and used his own words against him over how injured Resnir was. Finally, after a long moment of silence when the DM realizes his precious DMPC is screwed, he utters the words I will never forget. As you sink your weapons into the body of Resnir, you feel no resistance, and Resnir the Black fades. It's a hologram. I left the group, and so did the others from what I hear. And now his players are holograms. This next story's DMPC should fight Resnir for how stupidly overpowered it is. I hope making a post like this doesn't reflect too poorly on me, but here I go. I had settled into the role of forever DM on a West Marches server I was running for a few months, but the overarching plot concluded, and I headed to a new West Marches server to play as a player for a while, alongside my players, and learn about other DM styles up front. The server was low fatality, and PCs were easily resurrected, so it's a rather laid-back environment to play casually. One of the admins was the most active DM on the server, and he instantly pulled me in by immediately digging into my character's backstory, which is a weak spot in my DMing, and showing some impressive control over pacing and handling rules lawyering other players did. I had such a blast playing D&D as a player with my friends that I was willing to roll with whatever happened in the beginning. I'd gotten accents down for both characters, and the DM seemed to genuinely enjoy my enthusiasm in role-playing various scenarios that popped up. Smash cut to a few sessions, and when I'd leveled up one of my PCs to 9, and another, you can have multiple on that server, to 7. In that time, I was starting to get frustrated. What had started as a strong NPC guiding us to a quest, and a strong NPC being a non-combat encounter in a horror-themed session, became a strong NPC guiding us on every mission, and at least one strong NPC presenting a neutral or hostile presence in each session. The frustration stemmed from the understanding that we weren't supposed to attack these NPCs. They were implied to be too strong, combined with the way they treated the party. They usually insulted the party, talking down to them. Some actually spent 3 to 5 minutes of game time berating and belittling us. On more than one occasion, the NPCs would cast spells on us to assert dominance. It began as a way to show that the characters were not meant to be fought, but at one point when role-playing, one of them did it because my character was simply talking too much. About 3 sentences. As a side note, a bit more than half were female, and the art introducing the females was always at least borderline risque for some reason. Smash cut to the boiling point. The party in my 7th level PC went to figure out why people were having trouble sleeping, found runes carved on their homes that were doing curse stuff. A cleric removed some of these runes with our help, and we woke up the next morning to find he was dead, and someone was in the church. We enter, and it's a dark cloaked figure. Boom. All the doors and windows magically shut. A PC tries to break through one of these windows to nope out of there, but takes 3d6 bludgeoning damage. We learned that an edgy NPC is a super duper serious assassin. Top caliber. Edgelord had the same task of killing this rune carver as we did, so he offered to let us watch. We follow him into a cave, and he clearly demonstrates his powers are derived from shadows. He kills the rune carver with one attack in a cutscene outside of initiative. Someone in the party uses telepathy to talk to the rest of us. Do you think this guy might be dangerous to society? He might be. We should take him down. We lead him into the open sunlight, where his powers would be weakest, and he couldn't take advantage of the shadows. All right, everyone make a deception check, the DM said. Oh, we're saying this all telepathically so he can't hear. Yeah, but you need to roll to not give it away with your facial expressions. Of the group of 5, one PC rolled low enough to fail. The edgelord approached them and began to question them. It was then that my character broadsided him with Chaos Bolt from a 6th level spell slot, starting the fight. I got the attack in first. Another player with a feat that boosted their PC's initiative above edgelord and had to argue with the DM in order to use those rules as written. They volley edgelord with damage. Now it's edgelord's turn. He uses a power to transport anywhere there's a shadow, teleporting behind my PC. But we're in a sunny field. There's no shadows here. It still takes effect. Edgelord makes 4 attacks. He gets advantage on them because my character, which initiated combat with an opening attack, apparently hadn't taken a turn yet. So Assassin granted them advantage. DM rolls 4 attacks, 2 crits, rolls all damage dice together. Your character is now dead. Edgelord casts Animate Dead. My character rises. He isn't a zombie or a skeleton, but a 7th level PC. Attack the rest of the party. DM really wants me to roleplay my insta-killed character to PvP the rest of the party in what could easily be a TPK. I'm a bit salty by now and past the point of ever wanting to play again, so I conjure a bomb using Minor Conjuration. It sounds impressive, but takes 2 actions and puts out low damage compared to any of my leveled spells. Edgelord kills the PC I had called out as a target of the bomb attack. She's raised from the dead as well. My zombified character throws the bomb at her. You can't. He was ordered to attack the rest of the party. He had no orders to stop attacking them if they were raised from the dead. Doesn't matter, you can't do it anyways. Edgelord uses some legendary actions and drinks a superior healing potion, gets the party to surrender. They're witnesses to his crime and have reason to find and kill him when they're more powerful. Edgelord settles for just these 2 kills, produces a spell scroll for teleportation, and leaves with the bodies of both zombified PCs, preventing resurrection. I left the server afterward without a public explanation, and so got messages asking why from other DMs there. I explained it to a couple of people, and apparently this DM has pulled stuff like this before, and it's a known problem that they just, tolerate for some reason. Someone please do me a favor and assign a CR to this DMPC based on the described abilities. I want to say CR 25, 4 attacks, assassin, shadow powers, access to 7th level spells. But I have a major conflict of interest to estimate high. Who would win in a fight, Resnir or Edgelord Shadow Assassin? You decide. Please let us know what you think and comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, All Things D&D. Our videos are posted every Tuesday and Friday, so stay tuned for more amazing Dungeons & Dragons content.